Crystal, Chris, and Freddie, and we manage the account for DeLuca Investigations. DeLuca Investigations is a private investigations agency owned and operated by Steve DeLuca right there, if everyone wants to turn around and embarrass him and say hello, please. He has been in law enforcement for over 27 years and decided he's going to start his own private investigations agency. It's a full-service agency operating in Orange County, Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino. So he has all the skills, sources, and experience necessary to operate the business, but does not have the knowledge and education about marketing in order to spread awareness about his agency. So that's why he came to Practical Advantage to help us spread awareness. He came here in the fall as well and left feeling a little overwhelmed with all the social media platforms that were given to him to manage. And since he is a one-man team, he needed something a little more reasonable and easier for him to manage when we are done with the semester. So I'm going to give it to Freddie, who's going to go over the goals.
So for our goals, the first bullet point is create brand personality. That pretty much sets the foundation, the overall goal, the mission statement, gives it voice, voice of tone, and sets the values for our for Mr. DeLuca's company. That's why we decided to really focus on our website. My next bullet point brings me to increased brand awareness and clientele. It's pretty much we want to get those first-time customers. We want to make it as easy as possible, maneuvering through the website that we really put a lot of work into. The next bullet point that brings us is simplifying marketing for clients. Nowadays, people are very good with the internet and they compare and contrast what they find online. And so we want to make sure that when they're on our website, they're able to maneuver and get all that information that they need and simplify things for them. Now I'm going to move on to our audience. For our audience, we focused on attorneys, school district, healthcare providers, and public defenders. Some of the things that Mr. DeLuca could do for them is, get public records, do employee investigations, statements, interviews, and things in that source. Now I'm going to pass it on to Crystal, who's going to take care of the swap.
One of the strengths through staying in constant contact with Mr. DeLuca was that he does have experience, and we also created a new and appealing website. We made it very clean, very simple for people to understand and maneuver. We created a comment box for people to leave comments on their experience with Mr. DeLuca, which builds credibility for him. One of his weaknesses is that he is a one-man team. It's very hard for him to manage multiple things at once. So we made our website and different social media platforms as manageable for him as possible. One of the opportunities that we created for Mr. DeLuca was his LinkedIn page, which allows him to stay in contact with his various contacts that he has through there, so he can learn of new business and just stay in touch with people within his field. And one of the threats that we identified is a very difficult market to break into because he is looking at such a large area to cover. There's great saturation of public investigators within that area. And next, Denitza will talk to you about our budget.
Hi guys. So for our budget, we wanted to include changing the name of the company through the state, which cost $155. With the new business cards, that included the new name change, that cost $50. And changing from web hosting accounts from GoDaddy to iPage, that now averages him $30 a year. And then our total campaign cost comes out to $235. So now I'll be talking to you about our strategies. We had two strategies that we wanted to implement. One was to rebrand Questio Investigations, and secondly was to create a substantial marketing opportunity for him. With our campaign outcomes that implements our two strategies, which was rebranding Questio Investigations, we decided to change the name from Questio to DeLuca Investigations. With the rebrand of the new name, we had to create a new logo that was more professional, getting rid of the Questio thumbprint to now the Lady of Justice. And we also have switching web hosting accounts from GoDaddy, which wasn't user-friendly, and Mr. DeLuca did implement that he wanted to have something that was user-friendly once we were gone. So we decided to go with iPage that was more geared towards the smaller business. And for our marketing opportunities, we decreased, he first had 6 email accounts, and then we condensed it to 2, one personal and one for business, so he can manage them easily. We expanded his contact list, which was first in the beginning 100 miscellaneous business accounts, to now 214 public defenders within the Inland Empire, the Orange County, and LA County. We rewrote his pitch letter so it could be more dynamic and it's clear in language that he can send out to different public defenders within the areas. We had a media list that contains publications such as the OC Lawyer, California Lawyers, and Best Lawyers, and these are bi-monthly as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this on to Chris, who's going to be discussing the measures and outcomes.
Thank you, Danitza. So we had a lot of ways that we could really measure our success throughout our campaign through the semester. First, I'm going to go through the quantitative. The contact list, as Danitza had mentioned, initially started with 100 contacts. We were able to, with our going to different courts throughout the San Bernardino, Inland Empire, Los Angeles, Orange County, we were able to up that contact list from 100 to 214 contacts. Also his LinkedIn connections, when we took over, his LinkedIn was pretty bare bone. He wasn't really staying active on it. It went from 22 connections to 158 connections, and his page views actually in the last 90 days went from 0 to 86 page views. His Facebook, that went from 34 likes to 74 likes, and the day that we posted the new logo was actually our biggest reach day for reach in terms of anything that we had posted on Facebook. Also our web traffic, we implemented the new website on March 28th, and as of Thursday we had measured 758 visits to the website. April was the only full month that we were able to get a full measurement of month, and for that month we averaged 18 visits a day, and the average pages clicked was 5 every time someone visited the website, and the most often visited page was the services page, which we loved because it showed that people were really trying to find out about Steve and the services that he offered. And now over to the qualitative. The business name, webpage, and logo were all vehicles of communication that we thought he could really move forward and be proud of, and be, really feel good about his brand identity. And we thought, DeLuca is such a great name for a private investigator. All that sort of stuff is going to be great. And then staying very active on the LinkedIn, we got it bumped up, but we need Mr. DeLuca to keep continuing on with that stuff. Or if he does decide to continue for a third semester, the next group to do that. And we think these are all very manageable for Mr. DeLuca to do. Now I'm going to pass it over back to Alyssa for the recommendations.
So what we recommend going forward with DeLuca Investigations is for him to possibly look into hiring a marketing student such as ourselves. As an intern, because we're always looking for internships, we can do a unpaid internship, and it's kind of a win-win situation for the intern and Mr. DeLuca. Also looking into byline articles. These show your expertise in the field without being self-promoting, so it seems, or it comes off as a more objective piece of writing. Also Google AdWords. When we bought iPage, they came with $100 in Google AdWords, so it's a more strategic and direct way to target your audience online. Also expanding the contact list, since the prime investigator operates on a case-by-case basis. The more contacts he has, the more chance he has of sustaining his work. So expanding and continuing to network is always a good idea, as well as continuing to use his LinkedIn, like we already said, endorsing people, and continuing to connect with professionals. So we had a great time working on this campaign and basically gave a whole new face to question investigations, and hope that all the tools we've given him will help him succeed as he goes on. Any questions?